all my girls and boys. Some of them on this side. The rest of them are on that side. This right here is what this video is all about. Eggs. This is my gathering from this morning from all my chickens. I got one Americana laying, that's obvious. And the rest of them are either Wyandottes, Cochins, or Orpingtons. And maybe a Dominicker in there too. So that's my gatherings. Let's see, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eggs this morning. Alright. Like I said, this video is going to be about eggs. Y'all know dang well and fine that the prices of eggs have like shot up to pretty high out there. So here's what I wanted to talk to you about. You know, y'all, the whole world has been warned for several months on end that egg prices were going to go up. They started creeping up, increasing. Chickens were going to go, they're going to be like a gold mine in your backyard. Of course, and then the United Snakes of America, they're always going to let you know what they're going to do to you beforehand. And the folks that depend on the government and trust them, if you ain't learned by now, you ain't going to learn. You know, I went to a store, a local Dollar General store not too long ago, and there's a girl that works in there, and she knows I have chickens. And I sold one of her friends some chickens at one time. And that was a while back. And I didn't want to let those chickens go, not for the simple fact that, you know, they would be about the price of gold one day. I just don't, I like my chickens. I really do. And I care for them. I put a lot of work in them. I am their caretaker. And I've had several babies on this farm, you know, of chickens. And I've brought several babies inside the house. There's one of my kids. There's one of my babies right there too. I ain't got my glasses on, so I can't tell exactly. Hey, out of the eggs, baby. Which one that one is. But, yeah, before I was interrupted by, sunshine, sunny. I was saying that, hang on, my screen went dark. Anyway, I was saying that, I love my chickens. You know, I take a lot of them in the house and make a little makeshift brooder for them. And when something goes wrong, maybe their mama didn't know how to care for them, or, you know, when I watch when they hatch, and I make sure that mom's going to take care of them. If she doesn't, or doesn't really know what she's doing, she's kind of new to it, I bring them in the house and put them in a brooder, you know, and I take care of them for about 3 weeks, and I transfer them back out. All right, but let's get to the point. You've been warned that these days were coming. And most folk didn't do a dang thing about it. And a lot of people like to throw off on those of us that live on a farm. Well, you've got the room. You've got the place to keep them. Well, here's you a fact on that. There's a lot of folks that live on farms that don't have chickens. They don't want chickens, or they're too daggone lazy to have chickens. Chickens are they've always been a necessity on the farm. So just because I live on a farm doesn't mean that, you know, it's easy for me to have chickens. I put a lot of daggone work into those chickens. Every day. I don't care what the weather is, if it's scalding hot, or if it's freezing cold, or if it's below zero. I'm out here taking care of my babies. I'm busting ice, giving them more water, keeping their coops clean as I can at different times of the year, because I don't clean them out during the winter time or the fall, because I know that that's extra kind of insulation in their coop for them, and it kind of packs up and it keeps the cool out too. So they're not the best smelling things in the fall and the winter, but I also put fresh straw and fresh shavings in there, and I do get some of it out, but I want it to keep their coops kind of warm. And then of course fresh shavings in their lay in boxes and stuff like that, so the eggs don't get quite so dirty. And then come spring, I clean them out. But my point is, there's a lot of work that goes into my chickens. Folks that live in the city, okay, I don't really know a lot about city living, period. Don't know it. Don't, honestly, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. I don't care to. That's not who I am. Living out in the country, that's my whole days of living on this earth. That's what I've done. That's what I'm going to do. That ain't going to change. But I do know that most cities allow folks to have hens, you know, in their backyard. And for a family to have 2 or 3 hens, maybe 4, that's not going to need a lot of upkeep, a lot of a big coop to put them in. You need something to give them some room to walk around, and it wouldn't hurt to get them one of those electric or solar fences, you know, a small one, to let them just roll around in your yard if you ain't even got them fenced in, if you're worried about a dog or cat getting to them. But there is always a way to have something like chickens. Now, folks that live in apartment buildings, okay, well, I can kind of see your dilemma on that. But that's where you need to make acquaintances with your farmer's market or your Amish folk, or, you know, if you have a country friend. You've got to make some type of effort and not sit there and whine and complain that you ain't got something because you ain't put the effort into having it, whether it's to get it from somebody else or it's to do it yourself. You are responsible for you and your family and your animals, if you so choose to have them, and your gardens. You know, this is not the time to whine, complain, and mope and groan. Before something evil happens, there is plenty of warning that it's going to happen. Whether it's in the movies, whether it's on the news, whether it's in your own hometown, whether it's in a newspaper. You know, why people trust politicians, I'll never know. United Snakes of America, okay? And that's for all the countries. All the countries, all the government, all the leaders are nothing but a den of snakes. That's it. You know, that's a fact. So, to wrap this up is, yes, I have eggs. Yes, I have some chickens. And I am very Baruch to have those chickens. Our Creator, Yahuwah, whenever you choose to live for Him, He will provide for His own. Whenever the whole world is in an utter mess and going crazy and just losing everything, including their minds, their homes, you know, their own breathing, it's sad. And there are, you know, bad things that happen to those of Yahuwah's children too. But He sees us through it. He always provides a way. He always takes care of His own. I'm not concerned with the world's way. I'm only concerned with the way. My Abba, Father, Yahuwah, our Creator in the Shalom, what folks call heaven, He will take care of His own. These eggs, they're not worth gold to me. They're priceless. You can't put a price on them. You can't put a price on my work or my husband's work or our farm or our animals. They don't have a price. So when folks say, hey, do you got any chickens for sale? Hey, do you got any eggs for sale? No, I do not. They're all spoken for. Every last one. So before it gets too much worse, dig into either getting your own hens, if you live in the city or whatever, or if you're out in the country, you know better. You know better. Come on now, get you some chickens, and they're not, y'all, you can find them. You just have to dig around for them. You know, some people just give up on the first once or try. You know, they can't find them. They are out there. Go for it. And no, I do not use an incubator. I do not go against what Yahuwah created for the mamas to do. Those mama hens were created to hatch those babies, not a machine made by man. I don't care the excuse for anything about that. I did that before, a long time ago, years in the past, and I knew it just didn't feel right. Well, now I know why. I just had to find my way back to my Creator, Abba Yahuwah. So, think about what I said. Do something about your situation. There's always a way, but there's only one way, and that's Yahuwah's way, through Him. And His bane, His only Son, Yahusha. Those are the most important names you'll ever hear, ever, in all your days of living. Shalom from Hilltop Hollar, y'all. Halal'YAHUAH.